Okay, Dave, here we go with your golf swing. I found the video from the other week, what we did before, and I'll talk about that on the right side here. What we talked about was the feeling of the arms moving away from your head and towards the direction of where the camera is shooting, that way. And this is what you started to work on to try and feel the club moving away from you, so you never actually came over the top of the shot. So there's some lines there to show you downward motion. We talked about the hands working away from you. Okay, and you're doing that as I was talking to you. Okay, and then the idea was as you work the club away from you, you then drop your arms downwards, down that way. If anything, your arms are a little bit out in front of you, but the club's within that cone, and that's what we're after. Let the club down, it's coming lower. This is going to enable you to swing to the right of the target. You can see now how the club face is coming towards the ball on the inside path. Okay. I have an older one of you here. This is one of your older ones. Okay, so we can see how the downswing used to, well, apart from it being flat at the top, which we've sorted out now, but it's an example of where the club approaches the ball from the outside there. So it gets to down okay there, the club's within the path, within the zone. Now it goes outside there. You see the hands have come away in front of that line. So let's take a look at again on the one on the right, coming down. And the hand to drop down to that line, approach the ball from the inside. Okay, a nice natural motion of you throwing it away from you. Look where your hands are on the right hand side. They're going down now towards that line and back to playing on the inside. And you'll always be able to hit the ball to the right side, as we explained, and then drawing the ball back. If you don't close the club face, you'll hear the push. So here we go with a swing, which we can see is much more on plane at the top now compared to the one on the left. So this is the big change you've made. Much more in line with the downswing now. On the left was across the ball, and on the right here, watch the hands work down, down, down. A really nice position there, just to do a comparison. How much more your hands are in front of you there, which means you're going to come across it. Now on the right, approach the ball from the inside path, lovely and square. Okay. What we want now really is a little bit more hip rotation, don't we? You know, as you get to this point here, we want to see that right pocket begin to work towards you want to be able to see this hip now. And draw it, working this way, looking around. We did this a little bit late, so because it's a little bit late and a little bit static with that right foot, look at that. We'll just check the club face and it will begin to it's square there. It kind of really whips over the club face there and gets kind of closed quite quickly. That one was quite a good one, but I'll just show you a picture. I should just give you a comparison of the one before. You can see how much more across the one on the left is. You get in there, club face is outside, across, closing the club face and the club. Well, we know a bit more about that, so we've got the head dropping down and forwards. On the right here, looking really much more tidy these days. Much steadier with your head, up the plane. So it's a really fantastic change of golf swing. Look at the plane of the club coming out through your shoulder line, so it's a little bit steeper through there, not across. Look at the legs moving forwards on the right here, they're not collapsing down into the right side. Okay, so nice finish. So just take that back to that point again. Just do that in full speed. Oh, nicely swung. Quick comparison to the one on the left. Okay, for me no comparison, but you can just see here your face on now quickly. And we can see why sometimes you hook it left and low. I just want to show you this. Swing on the left here. Nice smooth motion that we talked about. We talked about rhythm, this was quite a good rhythmic swing. Okay, really strong hit. You can see the club face really closed there for me, and we talked about that. We talked about you know, getting the club face squared, and you know, squared the ball. But on this occasion, it's almost, you can see it's shut through the ball there. Just do a quick comparison to Edwards on the way through. He's keeping the ball a little squarer. Okay, so there it's square. It's going to remain square to his body there. You see the position of the toe of the club. How yours is much more over. Edwards is much more up. And Edward would generally hit the ball more of a neutral ball flight, maybe slightly higher as well. So that's something to watch out for, Dave. So the two things you're working on, really good. We're looking at the rhythm, looking at the hands working away from you. Okay, and down into that path. This one here. It's a good one to look at that. She's really steady. Arms drop down. I'll try and get rid of that. Arms drop to the other hands, work down, lovely. So I'll get that right foot moving a bit more. That'd be superb. It's a good swing. Okay, Dave. I'll do this one. I'll get one on for Edward immediately after.